I've already made a few videos on this phone, the Galaxy S20 Plus. I've been using this phone for well over 2 weeks now, and I think I've got a pretty good understanding about this phone in the time that I used it. So in this video, let's go ahead and talk about the new Galaxy S20 Plus and whether you should go ahead and spend your hard-earned money on this phone. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and smash the subscribe button right now. Share this video with all of your friends and use the hashtag Andro Dollar Army so that I can easily spot your shares. And let's get started with today's video. Since this is a review, I'm not gonna even touch upon the main specs of this phone because I've already spoken about the specs and all of that other information in my initial hands-on video after 48 hours. You can check out that video if you want to learn about all the key specifications of this phone. I'll have a link for that down below in the description if you are interested. Anyway, now let's go ahead and talk about my impressions of this phone after using it for over 2 weeks. First off, I have to say I love this display. I think the experience on the S20 Plus was really super for me because of this awesome display. The 120Hz refresh rate on this screen meant that I got my content fast and smooth. Overall, it was a pleasant experience, and even the color accuracy of this display must be admired. If you really want to appreciate this display, just have a look at all these awesome wallpapers that Samsung has bundled into this phone. It actually gives this phone a really nice and rich look. Even if you just hand this phone over to a stranger, I'm pretty sure the display is what they will admire the most very first. However, I think Samsung could have done a little bit better when it came to outdoor visibility of this phone. But overall, no real complaints. It's just a little bit of nitpicking here and there when it comes to the display, because overall I think this is one of the best displays you can find on a smartphone right now. Next, talking about the design of the phone, I think in the time that I used this, the most annoying part of it was how slippery this phone was. I mean, this phone is extremely slippery, so I highly encourage you to get a case or use some sort of protection with this phone if you really pick this one up, because if you drop it, it might cost you a lot to get it fixed, and if you drop it, you're gonna lose out on the IP68 dust and water resistance of this phone as well, which is gonna be a bummer. If you don't drop it, however, you're gonna be able to use this phone even underwater, or just dip it in the pool, or just use it wherever, whenever you want without much trouble. The design from the outside looks pretty nice, even though it didn't turn much heads like when I was initially using the iPhone 11 Pro. I think if you get a more flashy color of this phone rather than getting this grey color, then I think more people will admire this. Even though a lot of people are complaining about the lack of the 3.5mm headphone jack, for me personally, since I already anyway use Bluetooth headphones, that wasn't a real bummer for me, so I thought that I'd mention that. Next up, getting into the software side of things, Samsung has packed in so many new things into the latest version of One UI that is powering on the S20 series. Overall, it was a pleasurable experience for me. However, one thing that really annoyed me during the time that I used the S20 Plus was the inaccurate in-display fingerprint scanner. Maybe I've been spoiled by faster in-display fingerprint scanners. You just have to be really patient to get it right on the S20 Plus. That was only in the times that I really wanted to use it though. In the other times, that wasn't a big issue for me because I used the face unlock on this phone, because that's even faster. So I really didn't have to look around for the in-display fingerprint scanner position, because every time I hit on that power button, the phone was already unlocked thanks to that face unlock system. I think if you pick up this phone, you too should add in your face as well as your fingerprint, so that you have both options ready to go, and in the worst case scenario, you still have the lock screen pattern passcode to quickly get into the phone. Anyway, if you want to learn the best tips for the Galaxy S20 Plus, I have a separate video on that. Definitely go ahead and check that out to see what's new on the S20 Plus when it comes to the software side of things. as well as the awesome things that you can do with your new Galaxy S20 Plus. I'll have a link for that down below in the description as well. I actually installed a ton of applications onto my S20 Plus and tested them out. I played some awesome games and the experience was really nice thanks to the stereo speakers on this phone. This phone really does a good job even when watching YouTube videos. The speakers are really loud and I would personally pick this anytime over the iPhone 11 Pro when it came to the speaker quality, because I think this does a better job. Next up, let's get into the most important part of the S20, and that is the camera. I'm sure most of the people who buy this phone will be first impressed by the camera of this phone. The photo quality is really nice, and not only that, this time around Samsung has even stepped up the video quality of this phone like I showed off in my camera guide for the S20 series. If you want to learn in detail about every single camera feature of this phone as well as see all the camera modes of the S20 Plus in action, then definitely check out my camera guide for the S20 series, where you can find all the camera features and samples in one place. I'll have a link for that down below in the description just for you. Anyway, overall the camera experience was really nice. The photo quality was quite good. Even night mode did quite better than last generation's Galaxy S10 in my opinion. I also enjoyed using the motion photos that is built into the S20, and the new single take mode on this phone is also really nice to have. Samsung made a lot of hype about the 8K video recording on the S20 Plus, but for me personally, 8K video recording at this point of time doesn't really mean much, especially because in Sri Lanka even 4K is not that mainstream anymore. I think it'll take a few more years for 8K to just come into play, and because of these huge file sizes of these 8K videos, it makes it really tough to just keep using it, because I'm gonna just keep filling up my phone space if I keep using it like this. But credits to Samsung for still having that micro SD card on this phone. So if you really want to expand the storage, you can grab hold of a large micro SD card, even up to 1 terabyte, and just pop it into the phone and expand your storage. So overall the camera experience was really nice on the S20 Plus. To see the camera samples and to see video samples, definitely check out my camera video like I mentioned before, and then go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about the overall camera quality, because I like to hear what you guys have to say about the camera quality based on the pictures I've shot. Next up, talking about the battery life, I think I was able to get around 1 day's battery life with this phone without much issue. Thanks to the fast charging and fast wireless charging, I was able to charge this phone up really fast. It wasn't really mind-boggling fast, but it was fast enough. I hope Samsung can do something special next time around when it comes to phone charging speeds, because back then I can remember how Samsung was setting the bar, but right now it feels like Samsung isn't focusing that much when it comes to the charging speed and all that. Hopefully that will change with the next phone. Based on what I've heard, I think we have a pretty good chance of seeing Samsung doing something crazy when it comes to the charging speeds. Overall, no complaints from me when it came to the battery life, because I'm a heavy user anyway. I play a lot of games, I watch a lot of videos, I use my phone for a lot of calls, and even though I use 2 phones at once, I still give a lot of stress to both of the phones. So if this phone was able to survive 1 full day with me, that means that phone definitely has some good endurance. If you guys are interested about screen on times, most of the time on average I think I got between 4 and 6 hours. I like the fact that Samsung has improved on the gesture-based navigation system on this phone like I mentioned in my tips video, and I hope Samsung will even refine that even further moving forward. In the time that I used this phone, the phone call quality was quite good. Even though this phone doesn't have an earpiece at the front, the quality was quite good, and even the speaker phone quality was quite good on the S20 Plus. Now let's say you're really interested in picking up a Galaxy S20, but the difficult part for you is gonna be which phone should I pick, whether it's the S20, S20 Plus or the S20 Ultra. That's the question a lot of people actually ask me, and for those people my answer is this. If you want an overall compact phone with good performance, then go with the Galaxy S20. If you want a really big phone with the best in class specs, then definitely go with the Galaxy S20 Ultra. But if you want an overall balanced phone between the S20 and S20 Ultra, then that's where the Galaxy S20 Plus will stand. So I'm sure this time around most people will go ahead and pick up the S20 Plus over the Galaxy S20 Ultra, mainly when you consider the price. In my opinion, for a person who's gonna switch his phone every 6 months or every year or year and a half, then that person will have to really think whether paying that extra premium price will be worth it when compared to the Galaxy S20 Plus. If it was my decision and if I had to pick between these three phones, if it came to the specs, yes, sure, I would have definitely bought the S20 Ultra. But overall, if I had to pick a well-balanced phone for my personal use, then I think I wouldn't have gone wrong even with the S20 Plus. So if you're in the market looking for a new Galaxy, then you have 3 new options. Definitely go ahead and check them out. These phones are available for you to order right now. I'll even have a link for you to pick one up down below in the description. So definitely go ahead and check it out and let me know which new Galaxy S20 device you want to pick up this year. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now for more awesome tech videos just like this. And definitely check out my other Galaxy S20 videos right here on YouTube. And if you have any other video suggestions featuring the S20, drop a comment down below and let me know. Follow me on social media. I am at Andro Dollar. All the links are given down below in the description. And stay tuned to androdollar.com for all the latest from the tech world. Until I see you guys in my next video, this is Banu signing out.